friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Aso Tarot, and in today's pick a card reading, pick a bell reading, we are going to be looking at your predictions for December 2021. I recently uploaded 2022 predictions and had a few people being like, is there not gonna be December predictions? I'm like, no, there's still gonna be December predictions. I just work in weird ways. But we have 4 piles to choose from today, each with a Lenormand card and a different colored bell. So with pile 1, we have the green bell. Pile 2, we have the purple bell. Pile 3, we have the silver bell. And with pile 4, we have this pink bell. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. There might be multiple messages for you in different piles. There really is no right or wrong here. Don't stress yourself out. Obviously, take what resonates. Throw away the rest, but remember that with predictions videos, nothing is ever set in stone, and we create our future through our actions in the present. So just remember that. But if you finish this video and you want to check out my 2022 predictions, I'll have that link down below just in case. But I think that's all I have to say. So go ahead and scroll down to the description box or the comments section where I will have all of the timestamps listed below, and then we will get into your reading. Hi there, pile 1. If you guys chose the green bell and this Lenormand card, this is going to be your reading. So to start with your Lenormand card, we have the Scythe. I'm probably saying that wrong, S-C-Y-T-H-E. But if you chose this card, this talks a lot about moving on, letting go of things, sudden endings. So this could be something that you experienced in the month of November, or this could be something that is, I keep hearing in my head, a long time coming. So if it hasn't happened yet, you'll know about what you are going to be cutting off, because it's a long time coming. So that is like the main energy here. So we're going to go ahead now and pull your tarot cards as well as look at your oracles. But with the Scythe here, you know, it talks about important, sudden, it can be sudden or like important, almost drastic changes that, you know, maybe are uncomfortable but necessary. One interesting thing that I noticed is that there's three women specifically without heads in that image. So for some of you, this could be like maybe you recently cut off like a friend group, or I also just heard you're just like everyone else. So it's possible too, maybe there's been like a repeating lesson in your life where like maybe a specific type of person or a specific type of job that I heard, or a specific type of experience keeps reoccurring, and maybe this is like the third time, like you're finally learning the lesson, like, yeah, that was gonna be so beautiful. Aw, dang it. Now I have to do another one because like that one was going to be so nice. But yeah, this is definitely like necessary change that is happening, motherfucker, within your highest good. I guess, well, you know what? We can't deal with perfect shuffles all the time. So maybe that's reflective of what's going on in your energy. But I'm going to pull 4 tarot cards and then I'm going to lay out your oracles and we will get into it. So Spirit, what can pile 1 expect for December 2021? Oh, there we go. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse with moving on. We also have the Devil upright. We have the 7 of Swords in reverse. And yeah, wow, we have the World. So that is just like essentially triple confirming. what's going on here. And on the back of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Actually, I'm probably going to put that here, and then we'll keep going. This definitely seems like a very necessary period in your life, if I'm being honest. So let's go ahead and start by looking at your oracles. So I don't know where I want to put this. To start, we have love with the heart chakra. I'm too used to putting like the biggest cards in the middle, so I'm gonna have to move this to the side because it's gonna bother me. So we have love. We have the unknown. Think on it and you will stumble, for the heart is a ghost upon the unknown. Let it bleed into the depths, sparing nothing but desire. We have portal, a new door is opening, beginnings, opportunity, adventure. We have regeneration with black tourmaline and the Pluto card, and this is also number 11. We have Sekhmet with fierceness, destruction, and rebuilding. We have preservation with the sacral chakra. We have firefly with the air energy here. And then finally, we have defeat and reflection. Okay, I'm actually probably gonna put reflection over here. Yeah, okay. Sorry if this looks weird. Hopefully it's not. Kind of just figuring this out on the fly. Yeah, so you're going through some important changes this upcoming month, pile one. And these may not be the messages that you want to hear, but they're the messages that you need to hear, because I think that these have been messages that have maybe been like coming your way every so often, and you ponder them, but they don't really, I don't think you fully integrated them or fully integrated your understanding of them. The number 10 is coming out a lot because we have 10 with the sky and we have 10 with preservation. And it does just seem like you're reaching the end of a cycle. One that's been a long time coming, like I said, I was hearing. But this month is actually going to be, at least by the end of the month, it's going to be a beautiful change that I don't think you're anticipating. I think what's hard is that with these changes comes a lot of loss and grief. But one, remember that grief is just love without a home. And when you're looking at what's leaving as a loss, I would challenge you to ask yourself what you're gaining in the loss of these sorts of things. And I don't want to say loss like you're losing something valuable. You're losing things that are not valuable, actually. You're losing things that you're ready to let go of, things that do not hold you. For some reason, I wanted to say things that do not hold you accountable, which doesn't make any sense, but I understand it in the context in which Spirit's trying to get me to get it. Spirit is saying, like, you're cutting off the toxicity this month. If you haven't already, if you've already cut it off, then you're going to be healing from that this month. And that's going to take some time. Even though something may not be good for us, that doesn't mean we don't love it. You know what I mean? And so I think that in this month, you're finally going to be completing a lesson. Like I said, I keep saying it over and over because it keeps coming through, is a long time coming, a long time coming. The number 3 seems significant as well because we have these like 3 gears on the reflection card, and it's almost like the dots are going to be connecting this month. And you might actually hear from somebody. This could be a mutual friend between you and somebody else confessing something to you, or it could be coming like straight from the horse's mouth. Like if there's a person or people that maybe have been frustrating, that might be something. For a lot of you, you could be cutting off a toxic relationship of some kind. I mean, the fact that we have the devil here, dependency, addiction, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, so a confession of some kind, the world completion, and moving on with the Five of Cups. I think you're going to realize, if you haven't already, that a certain situation, person, or people are not serving you anymore. And it probably feels like to you, like trying to swim upstream and like change the direction of the current. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna change the current of what other people are doing. And so I definitely see you being cautious this month, and I definitely see you being a little deflated at times. I'm gonna be honest, but here's the thing. The fact that we have the Firefly here, love, portal with new doors and regeneration, the people that are meant to stay in your life are going to make things so much easier. And not only that, the biggest love that I see coming for you in this upcoming month is self-love. And that's a beautiful thing to see, and maybe a frustrating thing to hear, but I think you're making these decisions to cut certain habits, people, behaviors, whatever it may be, off out of self-love, because you know it's not good for you. You know it's not serving you. And it does seem like there are things that you're not able to be connected to in a healthy way. And so it's just time to detach completely. But Spirit is saying, this upcoming month is going to be the end of that. And in fact, I think that coming into the new year, you're going to be feeling really excited. I think December, honestly, is a huge healing month. And I think what is going to be nice for you, that you may not be seeing quite yet, is that the people in your life that love you and support you are really going to be there for you during this time. And it's like, it's almost like you're cutting off a source that you were hoping would give you love, whether it be a romantic interest or a relationship that you've been in, or like a friendship, or it could even be a job for some of you. It could be something like that. I think you're kind of realizing that you were holding on to it, and it was creating the exact opposite effect of what you actually wanted. And so I think that even if nobody directly confesses to you like a truth, then I think that you're telling yourself a truth. And it may be because we also have in this card, we have cowardice and conscience. So it's possible that maybe you've been waiting for somebody to come forward and apologize, or maybe you've been waiting to find closure on a situation. And I think you may be realizing this month that you may be waiting for something that isn't going to happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but you might be under the belief that it's not. I don't know if it is or not. Like I said, it's subjective, but I think you're going to realize that it doesn't matter, because it's not worth losing your peace. And I do think one thing that Spirit is saying is to hold on to the moments this month that are happy and that are bright, because you may be caught up in a lot of difficult emotions, and you may not appreciate the good things that happen this month because you're too in your head. And it's okay to be in your head, especially when you're struggling with things. But one thing that Spirit is showing me is that, one, black tourmaline is a really protective stone. So that would be, and it's a great psychic protection stone as well. So you may want to look into getting some of that. But I think that the people around you and you yourself are going to be very motivated in terms of turning over a new leaf, starting fresh, like new year, new you kind of energy. But it's actually a new you, because you're leaving things in 2021 that don't need to be there anymore. And I think the more time that passes after this event of cutting something off, you're gonna realize how much this situation, these people, these behaviors were truly holding you back. And you're gonna have so much love for yourself, because you'll know you made the difficult decision. And if these things, and I do want to say, for those of you where like maybe this situation happens from your perspective to you. So if you don't take action to end it and it ends in a way outside of your control, Spirit is saying that that is something that is happening for you. And while it may be frustrating to trust that the universe is trying to make room for you to go through new doors, to enter new portals, and to experience new things. And I think that it's going to be a lot easier for you to be receptive to love by the end of this month and next month, not next month, but moving onward, because you're going to be actively showing yourself what a person who loves themselves does. Because I think you're going to be in this energy of like, I'm tired of sitting here being sad. I'm tired of like my mind going in a maze. I'm hearing the song Invitation by Rapta, Rapta. That could be a significant song. It's a good song in general, but yeah, I mean, there may be some disappointing, hard moments if they haven't happened already, because for some of you, I feel like these could have happened already. It's just that you're dealing with the residual effects of it, you know, because a month is only 30 days. But I think that your saving grace this month is going to be, you know, your family, the people around you that do love you, your good friends, your creative passions and pursuits especially. And I do think as well there will be a lot of inspiration in this upcoming month. And I think Spirit is saying to, whenever you get a good idea, or you get a download, so like a burst of inspiration about something, or you hear a voice in your head tell you something, that an answer to something that you've been like asking for, write that stuff down. You don't have to do anything with it, but I do think that there will be moments of inspiration, and you may lose out on those ideas if you do not write them down, if you don't hold on to them. Because I think Spirit's saying, like, maybe you don't have to put them into action this month, but you may forget them entirely if you don't write them down or do something with it. But I think maybe your focus, especially in this upcoming month, is going to be a lot about being mindful of your own mind and what it's telling you. Especially when you go through difficult things like this, it's important to remember to not let your mind bully you as well. It's hard enough dealing with difficult shit. The last thing you need is yourself being an asshole to you. So don't be an asshole to yourself. And I would challenge you to like work on affirmations, or just saying kind or even just realistic things to yourself. Like, things may suck now, but I know they won't suck forever. You know, sometimes those affirmations can be better than like, life is amazing and everything is wonderful. Like, sometimes it feels good to just be realistic and be like, yeah, shit fucking sucks, but like, it'll get better. And I do think as well, in terms of creativity, it might be a slower month, but I think Spirit is saying that hold on to the ideas that you have and don't shame yourself if you don't have the energy to carry them out. Just make sure that you have some sort of record of them so that you can go back to these ideas later. But I think it may be a little scary to think about heading into the unknown, but all you really need is your own light. And at times you're going to feel confused. At times you're going to wonder, like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why am I going through all this? And you're going to have little moments of inspiration and understanding. But I think one thing the universe wants you to know is that you are not going to get a giant, all-encompassing answer as to why. You're going to get little tiny bits of information as you go. It's kind of like a video game where you're the main character and you only get little bits of information over time. It's like you have to go through the entire journey to understand the full story. And so I think Spirit is saying, you know, you're not gonna be able to see too far ahead of you. But just focus on your light and focus on the present, focus on now, focus on what you can control in the moment, because that is what will help you keep moving as well as you can. You may be feeling smaller this month. You may be feeling down on yourself this month, or not as confident. And I think Spirit is saying that your mindset can either counteract that or make that worse. So that's something that you want to be aware of. But with this 5 of Cups here, I think Spirit's saying either the action that you're taking or the action that's, or the divine intervention that's going to happen outside of your control. But I mean, like, I don't want to say that and freak you out, but like, you'll know what this situation is. But I think with this moving on here, you're going to realize, like, I am creating more pain by holding on to something that is not serving me anymore. And I think you may feel like you've lost or that you're defeated, but the truth of the matter is that what you were holding on to was not serving you in the slightest. And in fact, you're being divinely redirected towards a new beginning that is not only going to be beneficial for you, but you're actually going to feel supported, you're going to feel cared for, and you're going to feel like so fucking good once you have all of this shitty shit like kind of dealt with and out of the way. It's gonna take some time to heal from it and to fully feel okay about it. But I think what Spirit is saying is, you know, healing is not linear. You're not just gonna wake up one day and everything is gonna go away. Time does help things and time does heal things. And I think that your guides especially just want you to be really patient with yourself. They just want you to be kind to yourself and get excited for what is to come, because what we are discarding, what we are metaphorically killing is what no longer needs to be there. It's dead, it's decayed, it's old business, it's old news, it's out. In the words of Tim Gunn, it is out. We've got new things that are in, and the old shit is out. We're done with it. It's not in fashion. You are the designer of your own life, and you're gonna be just fine, buddy. I promise. I promise. So, I also wanted to say as well with Sekhmet, she is an Egyptian deity if you wanted to look into her, but especially if you are interested in deity work of any kind, because she talks about fierceness, destruction, and rebuilding, literally what you're doing right now. So even if you don't believe in like praying to deities or working with deities or anything like that, you may just want to like read her story and read about her, because it may be a source of inspiration for you. And I also think that she's a great example of upright Queen of Wands energy, you know, courage, fierce, we have fierce energy and fierceness. So if you work with Sekhmet, I think that this is her reminder of saying, like, remember who the fuck you are, like, remember how fierce you are, how amazing you are. But if you're unfamiliar with her, I would just look into her story, look into her energy, and see how that resonates for you. But we are going to finish off by getting advice for all different areas of your life. So we're going to start with advice for your work life. And we have my genius. I believe in my inner genius and encourage it to speak up as much as possible. When it seems to be feeling shy, I coax it to contribute ideas by sharing even its tiniest, craziest thoughts out loud. The more validated my genius feels, the more apt it is to participate, and nobody puts my genius in a corner. Yeah, and honestly, I think there's even more to this. Like, this is kind of your guides, like, nobody puts pile one in a corner, and like that may be why like you kind of realize there's things that you need to cut out because they're just not serving you, and you just deserve so much better. I'm hearing that Shawn Mendes song. What is it? Like, I'm like, treat you better. I know I can treat you better. Something like that. Okay, so advice for creativity. We have drive. You're hereby awarded an infinitude of drive, motivation, follow through, stick-to-itiveness, and any other permutation of said superfuel. You can wake up, buck up, and blast through the daily darnets to finish whatever project you've got your greasy little mitts on. Even if the luster of your once very new and thrilling idea has lost some of or a lot of its sparkle, you've got the boost you need to just keep slogging till it's done. And the speedier and the better, so you can fall in love with the next new creative thing. And I do think as well, this is not just towards creativity. I think this is towards lots of things. And I think that on the days when you're struggling to have motivation, like, I'm hearing Dory in my head say, like, just keep swimming, 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 just keep swimming all day long. And I think that it's just like, even if you're only moving an inch, It's better than being still. You know what I mean? And I think you got to give yourself credit for that throughout this month. Now we'll get some advice around your family life. And we have doing my best. I take a moment to honor myself for all the work I've done on myself, emotions I've managed, and complex familial relationships I've maintained over the years. I haven't always been perfect, but I've done my best. And since you can't get better than the best, I guess I win. Who's up for several tubs of ice cream? So yeah, I love this. And I think that once again, this doesn't really have to just be about family. Like I think in general, you know, this is a month where you're saying like, I'm doing my best, and that's it. And that is enough. That is enough. You don't need to go above and beyond. You don't need to like put pressure on one. You don't need to put pressure on yourself to perform the way you typically do, especially because you're going through all of this. Like, Spirit's giving me the example of like Simone Biles and like what she went through at the Olympics. You know, she dealt with really difficult things, and then on top of it, like the entire world being a dick to like the best gymnast to ever exist when they can't even do a fucking cartwheel. I think that Spirit is reminding you, like, even if you are the best at what you do, you're allowed to be off. You're allowed to take time for your mental health. You are allowed to take a break, and you are not required to put your health, your safety, your needs at risk just to please other people. And so I think that Spirit is really saying, you know, even if you feel pressure, fuck them. Fuck them. You don't need them. Like, you're doing your best, and that's all that matters. Like, and Simone, she still got a bronze medal. Like, she still did amazing, even though that she was going through all of that. Like, such a fucking queen. But you are also amazing. And I think the biggest thing that you need to know is that the people that make you feel not so amazing, or the experiences that make you feel not so amazing, are not reflections of your worth, but in fact, reflections of what's not worthy of you, because it doesn't add to you. It doesn't make you feel good. And if you can, and anything that we can control that doesn't make us feel good, we should take action to eliminate. But maybe not in like a, you know, murderous way. Let's not do that. But okay, so advice for love and relationships, we have humility. I take a deep breath and release all of my desire to be right. Without right, what's left? A soft and pliable version of me that's willing to make mistakes, hear other people's opinions, and try doing stuff in a different way. In other words, I get to pray. I can't talk today. I'm sorry, guys. I get to take a pretty sweet, all-inclusive brain vacation. Some restrictions apply depending on the current tenacity of my ego. And then finally, for your personal advice, just, I don't know, just the OG advice deck, we have peacefulness. I have a peaceful, tranquil, untroubled heart. This is where I choose to spend my time. I can bring guests, but any person, thought, or event that brings drama or chaos is not invited. Yes, this is a perfect message, Spirit. I love you. My heart is a special property, and I'm going to keep it that way so we can all keep enjoying it and I can get my security deposit back. Yes, exactly. This love is all about prioritizing your own peace. And I will say from personal experience that I have had to let go of things that I cared about very, very, very much. And it hurt, and it was hard, and you still have to heal. There's a lot of healing involved. But the peace you gain, man, so fucking worth it. So worth it just to be able to, you know, sleep and not have your brain worrying about shit it doesn't need to be worried about. You know what I mean? This is what you deserve. You deserve your peace. And Spirit is encouraging you to make that your goal this month. Like, with peace and love, like, your month needs to be focused on creating as much peace and love in your own center of gravity as possible. Because if there are things that you're letting go of, if there are difficult conversations you need to have, difficult confessions you need to make, or difficult things like that, you know, the best thing you can do for yourself is have like those self-care things right on deck. you know, so that you got something to support you while you're dealing with that difficult stuff. But I think the biggest thing you need to know is that, like, you're gonna be okay, and that there's so much love surrounding you, and that, you know, don't let other people make you feel small. And it's okay if that happens, but if they make you feel that way, they're definitely not worth being in your life. And I think Spirit is asking you to, instead of being afraid of the unknown, get excited for what the unknown has to offer, because I think it has a lot. I think it has much better things to offer you than what you had on your plate before. So pile 1, I'm gonna leave your reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way through. If you want to check out my 2022 predictions, if you haven't already, I'll link that down below. Thank you guys so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. But if you would like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already and click that little bell notification. You could check out my social media, but do be aware that I have a million scammers pretending to be me. So if it's not linked down below, it's not mine. I don't have a backup account. I don't have other shit. I just have my one Instagram account, and I am not offering personal readings right now. So if somebody is pretending to be me and saying, hey, do you want a personal reading? Say no, because it's not me. I don't even have time to text my friends back. Peace and love. I also have merch, so if you want to check that out, that will be linked below. But I think that's all I have. So I am wishing all of my November Sagittarians and December Sagittarians and December Capricorns a very happy birthday, and happy holidays to everyone as well. I hope that this month is wonderful. If not, it'll get better. But yeah, okay, that's all I have. So thank you very much for letting me read your cards. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you are watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 2. If you guys chose the purple bell and this Lenormand card, this is going to be your reading. So for the month of December, oh god, did I say November for the entire? I really hope I didn't. Anyway, we're talking about December, but we have the Tower card, Lenormand card. The Tower Lenormand card is different from the Tower in Tarot. So if you're like, oh dear God, don't worry. It's not that type of tower. This tower references things like stability, authority, solitude. So I do think that in this upcoming month, you are going to have some sorts of like structure, or it's like a structure around having a lack of structure, if that makes sense. Like you're either doing whatever the hell you want, or you're like thriving in a certain routine you may have. For some of you, I definitely see that you're taking some much needed like alone time to yourself, especially if you're an introverted person. It definitely seems like you're going to be prioritizing, you know, just your quiet time, the things that you need, things of that nature. You may also be facing things that feel bigger than yourself. Like, I mean, the thing that came to mind, I'm kind of ashamed, but I'm not ashamed. It's just kind of silly. There's like an episode of The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody where I don't know, they fall asleep or they trip or something, and they wake up as like children in Boston in like the 1770s, and so it's all about like the revolution and things like that, obviously from a very American perspective. But it's you know, they go up against something bigger than themselves in the show, because they're saving a tree. They're saving a tree, and then I guess in the show they compare it to like to how, like, you know, we told England that they could have their tea back. We, you know, sent it in the ocean. Real nice of us. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is that you may be going up against something bigger than yourself, or if you have been up against something bigger than yourself, and maybe something that you're continuing to go up against. But I just heard the words in my head, formidable opponent, and I think that you make a very formidable opponent. So let's just go ahead and see, Spirit. What can pile 2 expect for December 2021? Okay, so we have the Page of Wands in reverse. Okay, so what else, Spirit? Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. What else, Spirit? What else can pile 2 expect? All right, but we got the Emperor upright. Okay. And what else? Ah, okay, and we have the Universe. Awesome. Okay. Well, let's see what is on the back of the deck. Oh, fuck yes. We have the Magician upright. So, yeah, this will be just fine. Okay, let's look at your oracles now. So, to start, we have play with the heart chakra. We have feasting. Let us feast upon the nourishing and be thankful for thy feast, nor here or there, yet everywhere it be. We have the last chapter, write your own story, resolution, closure, forgiveness. Oh God, I just heard Papa John talking about the Day of Reckoning. But this could have something to do with your father, or like a fatherly figure in your life. But let's keep going first. We also have Transcendence. So this is a wonderful sign with Moonstone. I've got some Moonstone, so I'll put it in here. Moonstone. We have Archangel Ariel with Environment, Abundance, and Guardian of the Earth. I think I'm going to put that there. We also have Integrity with, this is actually the third eye chakra. It looks like it'd be the throat chakra, but it's actually the third eye. We have Movement. We have Dolphin again. We've got a lot of dolphins. And Potential. So I'm going to put that there. And fix all these guys. So the Universe is actually a unique card in this deck. I just heard Unique New York. Unique New York. Shout out to my people in New York or any of the old Yorks. Okay, anyway. It definitely does seem like this month is a mix of like irritating bullshit and also insane growth and transcendence. So it's possible you could have felt drawn to the first pile because there's kind of some similarities here. Oh, I didn't mean to take this out. I do kind of want to hold it though. Honestly, I think the biggest thing that you're up against is, I heard the odds, but I don't think it's the odds. I think it's your perception of how successful you'll be. Because with the Page of Wands, like, some of these setbacks that you may experience could be caused by your own actions. Like, you may be very focused on just having fun, for example. Shout out to my students. You know, you may want to go to a bar, but you've got an exam the next day or something like that. The universe might be saying you'll get what you put in. So do be aware of the fact that, like, maybe if you have some important things the next day, prioritize, make sure you studied enough. I'm not saying don't have fun, because we do have a lot about having fun here, but, you know, be responsible. Take care of that stuff, because you don't want to have to deal with the consequences of that. But with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, I think that this is something that's not, it's not something occurring in this upcoming month, it's something that you've been experiencing. I just heard 6 months, so it could be in the past 6 months. It could be like a karmic cycle of some kind where like things have been leaving, things have been changing, and you've been just feeling like things are not coming up Millhouse in the slightest for you. But instead, I think Spirit is getting you to realize that in this upcoming month, that these changes are actually getting you exactly where you need to go. But what's interesting is we have the Magician and the Emperor, which are 1 and 4. We have 14 here, so 14 could be a significant number. But 1 and 4 makes me think of divine masculine energy, because it's shown, divine masculine energy, like cosmic energy, is shown in the Magician, and earthly energy in the Emperor. And so I think that you are healing a lot with your masculine energy this month. Like, you're going to start feeling more in control. You're going to start feeling more empowered. I think you're also going to be seeing how limitless things are. And it's like, I just heard the song, like, what's it called? Like, I'm coming up. I want the world to know. Like, that's going to be you. I genuinely feel like, because you're closing the chapter on a lot of frustrating shit. I do want to say, though, for my people that are taking exams, please prioritize your exams first. Even if you want to watch my video first, my video will be done. We'll be there forever. You can watch it whenever. Make sure you study for your exams with peace and love. Like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but your guides are really stressing that. And for some of you, there's a project that you thought you could wait until the last minute to do. If it was introduced at the very beginning of the semester, please get started now. For some of you, you may find out that that's not. It could be, getting started now could be the difference between an A and a C, is something that I just heard. I'm so sorry to whoever I channeled that message to, because I know that if I was still in school and I heard those messages, I would throw my laptop across the room. I would just be like, nope. But here's the beautiful thing. You're transcending a lot of shitty, dumb energy that we just like want to get rid of. And with the dolphin here twice, dolphins could be a very significant animal, but I think you're going to be feeling lighter and just having more fun. And I think that's because, 1, you're feeling more in control, and 2, it's like you're leveling up. Ooh, maybe for some of you, you're graduating. Fuck yes. Congrats to anybody who's graduating, and congrats to anybody who is like making a shift in their life, like changing in some way, because it does seem like I just heard Cardi B in my head saying, like, I don't dance now, I make money moves. And I think that you are making changes. Like, you are going the distance to change shit up for yourself. But you may find that you're just like a little bit frustrated with how things are going, or you may just feel like you don't have all the energy in the world to invest in where you're going next, because like you're dealing with setbacks and bullshit that you don't want to deal with. But with this third eye chakra card here with integrity, I think Spirit is really asking you this month to have it. And I think that Spirit is saying to have that integrity, especially when it comes to play. Like, you may be making more time to just have fun and let off steam. But I think that Spirit is saying don't lose sight of what's important to you. Don't get so caught up in the moment that you set aside like things that don't matter. For some of you, I'm getting a very specific message. Like, if you changed your diet in one way or another, you may be afraid to like communicate those dietary changes to your family. And I think Spirit is asking you to honor your truth rather than force yourself to eat something you don't feel comfortable eating. But I think there is the potential for a lot of growth here. It's going to be all about how you act, because truthfully, I don't think it's going to be the worst thing in the world if you don't do too much this month and just have fun. Because with this dolphin card, this talks about being in a really good energy and a healing energy and a lighter, brighter energy. And so I think that honestly, when it comes to this Page of Wands in reverse and this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, I think that's an energy that you're coming out of. It's possible as well that you may not be feeling more empowered, but like loved ones that are close to you that do have power in some way may make your life a little bit easier, if that makes sense. You may be bonding with your father figure as well. Some of you could be getting promoted. That's a very specific message. It's not going to be for all of you, obviously, but like a few of you maybe. I just heard the big kahuna. So like you may be getting noticed by like a really big high up, or you might be getting promoted or something like that. I think Spirit is really just encouraging you to like, even when there are frustrating things and setbacks, or like you're feeling like you're up against a wall, maybe that wall is like, well, I just heard the wall of awful, which is something that ADHDers call like the kind of like this invisible wall that stops us from doing what we need to get done. So it could just be that you're dealing with the wall of awful this month a lot, and you're coming up with solutions this month to combat that and to figure that out. I also think you may be prioritizing like your physical health a bit more, like you may be exercising a bit more, or you could be like moving locations. I do also think that with this feasting card, you are going to be eating good. I heard in my head, not pregnant, just eating good. But for some of you, you could be pregnant and eating good, but that's only going to be for a select few of you. Don't come for my neck in the comments. I'm not sitting here saying that you're pregnant when you're not. Like, you'll know if that message is for you, unless you were... You'll know. You'll know. I'm not saying that. That's for like, once again, a few of you. That's why we say take what resonates. But I do think that like you are going to be challenged to make decisions with integrity. I think that's where this Emperor energy is going to be really important. Because if we think about it, like a Page of Wands and an Emperor are two very, very, very different energies. You know, one is going to be irresponsible, just, it's like Bart Simpson, essentially. And this is like Matt Groening, definitely not a Simpson. I mean, this Emperor energy is like really impressive. And I think that you may have to take the higher road in certain circumstances, but it's going to be okay. Archangel Ariel is coming through as somebody that is protecting you during this time. And I think that this has to do specifically with dietary changes that you may be making. Like if you're stressed about that, or like stressed about what people will think. I think that Archangel Ariel is a great guide to pray to. But you could also just be traveling this month. Like you could be traveling to new places, seeing the universe in different ways. You could be astral projecting and seeing the universe that way. But it does seem like, oh, and for some of you as well, you may be healing your relationship with a father figure or something like that, like father, grandfather, something like that. But I also think that this is the last chapter of like misfortune, setbacks, frustrating things. And what's coming in is nothing but pure potential. And I think that for some of you, you may take some alone time just to like do what makes you happy, do what makes you feel good, and kind of get yourself into an energy where you're doing things from a heart-centered place rather than from a different place. But I do think that Spirit is asking you to make decisions that align with your morals, your values, your integrity, because that's what's going to help you get where you need to go. But with the Magician here, ooh, and we have Justice underneath that. I think with the Magician here, it literally is like what you cultivate is what you're going to bring about this month. But I hear Spirit saying to not discount how intelligent you are, how powerful you are. Like you've got a lot of really wonderful shit under your tool belt, and like, or in your tool belt. I don't know. I've never worn a tool belt in my entire life, so I can't tell you what that's all about. But I do think that you are maturing, you are evolving and growing, and you are finishing out a cycle that I think once again has been like, you're ready to get out of it. And I think that you've been doing a lot of healing in order to tolerate this like difficult time or maybe like a low period that you've been in. But Spirit's saying that this is ending. And actually, the more that you make decisions in alignment with what you want for your future rather than what will just appease you now, it may help you get closer to your goal. But sometimes we do need to make decisions to just appease to now. So trust yourself to make the best decisions for you. But one thing I do see, especially with like the moonstone and all the dolphin energy, is that you may be getting downloads, advice from strangers, or like very mysterious. You're gonna get answers from mysterious places. And they may come from your own brain or from the outside world. So pay attention. But I think that you're going to be healing a lot and overcoming a lot. And I think you're going to realize, I am ready to put this book back on the shelf and start a new one, a new universe where, you know, I'm in control, where I am creating the life that I want. And I also think that if you are thinking about doing any like philanthropic things around the environment, Archangel Ariel is encouraging you to do that as well. With the feasting card, I just got a message. This is once again going to be random, but if you're cooking, make sure that you set timers for everything. Some of you may be the people that are like, oh, I don't need timers. I know when to take things out. But like, I just saw the image of like somebody getting sidetracked by something, like someone at the door or calling you or something, and you get like wrapped up in that. And it may not be you. It may be somebody in your family. They get wrapped up in that, and then like shit gets burnt. So I'm trying to save your food. Pay attention. Set a timer. Okay. So we are going to finish off this reading. I know this was really scrambled and really discombobulated, but I think that that's really kind of where you're at right now. And I don't mean that like I think you're scrambled and discombobulated. I just think that like all areas and aspects of your life are in different places, and you're just doing your best. And I think that, you know, you're just trying to have fun along the way, and that's perfectly fine. I think you're doing a great job. You're doing great. And I think that this month is really just what you make it. And I think I'll say that a lot, but it really is true. So we are going to finish this reading off with pieces of advice for different areas of your life. So we're going to start with some work advice, and we have outlets. What's this? Gasp, a remedy for the daily grind? That's right. Here's the boost you need to experiment with some new pastimes and hobbies. Work can feel uncreative sometimes, or not aligned with who you are, or completely and utterly devoid of any meaning or shred or value or shred of humanity. But don't despair. You have the ability to express yourself in other ways, and life is full of meaningful endeavors. There is no need to chain your life to a boring job when there are gardens to grow, baseballs to throw, and pudding-based performance art installations to show. Get out there. So yeah, maybe you're finding a creative outlet this month, or finding your love for a creative outlet this month. That would be awesome. So I do think that when you're not dealing with like work or school or things like that, you may be just trying to, you know, have some fun for yourself. And I do want to say, for those of you who are studious and like have no problem studying, I'm going to give you actually the exact opposite message. Make sure you give yourself a break. I was talking more so to the people who will be like, I'll be fine. I don't need to study, or I'll be fine. Like, I can wait to do that project. Because you'll be fine. Because like for y'all, you will be fine, but you'll not be able to do everything, and you won't be able to do your best because you won't have enough time. And then you'll be like, I could have done so much better on that. And that could be the difference of a letter grade in that class. And if you go to an American university, y'all know how shaky GPAs are. But okay, so for creativity now, but if you work hard all the time, you really need to do more of this. I felt incredibly called to lecture the people that are maybe having too much fun. Well, there's no such thing as having too much fun. And I want you to have fun. I just want you to also get your stuff done. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be your big sis for a second and say, study your shit. Okay, so creativity. We have bravery. I may not be a full-blown Gryffindor, but I've got my own brand of bravery. I'm brave enough to show up and try. I'm brave enough to share stuff I make even when I worry that people's stuff is better. And I'm brave enough to stop anxiety scrolling. Sorry, Instagram. Even if that's my go-to habit. Thanks, Instagram, because comparison bites. You beat me, you hear me, Instagram? Ugh, bravery takes courage. So, yeah, be brave with your creations. Be brave with what you want to do. Especially if you have to speak your mind to people, you know, don't take some courage, but you can do it. And when it comes to sharing your creations, like, don't feel afraid to. I will say, as a fellow person who creates things, yeah, your brain will really just ruin your motivation and make you think that things are wrong when they're not, or get too caught up in something that doesn't even matter. So it's okay for things not to be perfect, and it's okay for them to be like however they will be. You know, one thing that I have definitely learned from doing this is that you can never please everybody, and you can never make everybody happy. So you might as well do what you enjoy, what you like doing, what you like making, because the people that are truly worth it are going to support you either no matter what, or just, you know, come when something interests them. Anybody who's shitty to you about something you create is got their own problems to deal with. And yeah, anyway, let's look at family. We have affection. I feel my love fully and express it generously. There's no harm in saying I love you, and nothing bad has ever come from a hug. That's a matter of historical record. Go check it if you'd like. In the meantime, I'll be waiting here with open arms. See where I'm going with this? Aw, and there's more sea animals here as well. And then for love and relationship advice, we have Grace. I face disagreements with grace and flow through the ups and downs of my relationships without getting thrown off center. With grace, I'm able to keep my cool, be my best self, and not resort to name-calling, even when that crappy poo-poo face is being a douchey barf monster. I thought douchey had a Y, but apparently not. Okay, and then finally, for your last bit of advice, we have worthiness. I am worthy of the ultimate happiness. I deserve and accept it, and damn it, I'm not going to feel guilty about it when I get it. Guilt is not invited to my happiness party. I won't even tell him where it is. If he asks about it, I'll be like, no, I think you're thinking of something else, and then I'll run away quickly. So I think that this is a wonderful message, because I think that this is what you need to know more than anything, is that you are worthy of what you're going towards. You are worthy of what you're building. You are worthy. Like the mere fact that you exist, that you breathe, that you have a beating heart, means that you are worthy of wonderful, wonderful things. And man, you don't deserve to tell yourself that you don't deserve things. It's so fucking unfair to you. And I think that you have been working really hard, and it has taken you a while to get to a place where you're feeling good, feeling like you can handle life, and I think that Spirit is asking you to take the wonderful things that are coming to you in stride, and believe that you're worthy of the good things. Believe you're worthy of being playful, of taking a break, of things like that. Yeah, you're great, pile 2, and I think this month is really just gonna be about reminding yourself that, and opening your heart up to love when it's around, but also not, you know, getting too stressed when the world isn't responding the way you want it to, you know? Just know that you're worthy of good things, and sometimes it may take a while for those things to show up, but it doesn't mean that you're not worthy of them. It just means that the delivery man was late, or there was a problem. But doesn't mean it won't be resolved. Honestly, I think this month is a lot about you getting ready for 2022 and like really like unleashing your full power then. And it's like in the meantime, you're like taking time for family, taking time for, you know, you could be traveling as well, like traveling for family and things like that. And I will say, if that's the case, show up at the, like, if you're going to an, like, wherever you're, however you're traveling, leave early. Please leave early and be safe. But that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. But if you would like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already and click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can follow my social media. Just be aware that there are tons of bitch ass scammers pretending to be me. So just so you're aware, if it's not linked below, it's not mine. I only have one Instagram account, and I am not currently offering personal readings. So if someone follows you and slides into your DMs claiming to be me, and it's not me, it is a scammer. So, is there anything else? Oh, happy birthday to my Sagittarians and December Capricorns. I hope you all have a very happy birthday. Thank you guys so much for watching and for letting me read your cards. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you are watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. If you guys chose the Silver Bell and this Lenormand card, this is going to be your reading on your December 2021. So for you guys, we have the letter Lenormand card. So I'm getting a couple of different interpretations for this. The first one is that you could be receiving important communication from someone or an organization. So this could be about something like an acceptance letter, or like could be a rejection. I mean, it could be either acceptance or rejection, but you could be hearing back in general. I didn't mean to be like, oh, you really starting out strong here with my communication skills, aren't I? Well, maybe you could help me a little bit this upcoming month. Send me your energetically good communication skills. But you could be getting communication from someone or something. You could be hearing the results for something. The only reason I said acceptance was because I forgot the word result, and then I was like, well, I don't want to build up false hope because I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm not saying yes or no. I just don't know, and I'm not gonna pretend like I do. At least not yet. If there's cards to indicate that, I'll talk about it. But you could be receiving communication from something like that. You could be receiving a letter from somebody like from your past that like you haven't, and if that's the case, I feel like it's been a really long time since you've heard from them. I mean, that doesn't mean you have to respond to it. I'm just letting you know. But this could also be another interpretation that I got for those of you who are doing like scripting manifestations. You might find that some of your manifestations are fulfilled this month, and so you get to look back and like see what you've done, or you could be getting in the process of like scripting or just writing stuff down more, but no matter what, communication is going to be a big part of your month. So we're gonna go ahead now and shuffle your tarot cards and see what comes out there, and then I'll lay out all your oracles. I'm really shocked today. Spirit has been like quick and not snippy, like quick and pretty, like to the point. It's been so nice. I'm like, I can't remember the last time I've done readings that were like a half an hour long, but like, oh my gosh, it's like, wow, I can get so much done in such a short amount of time when I'm not channeling for an hour. Not that I don't love to channel for an hour. Wow, okay, so we had the King of Swords just pop out, but I don't know which way it wants to go. All right, we're gonna leave you right here. That's gonna be your back of the deck energy, Spirit is telling me. Okay, so Spirit, pile 3, what can they expect? Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Compile 3. Oh, okay, so we have the Six of Swords as well. Pile 3, expect for December 2021. Okay, we have the Magician in reverse. And finally, Spirit, we have the Seven of Pentacles upright. I do just kind of want to take a look, see what's on the back of the deck. Ah, okay. Six of Wands in reverse. Interesting. Okay, so for some of you, this communication is definitely coming from somebody that does not have your best interests at heart. So do be aware of that. I haven't even laid out your oracles yet, but there is already like a huge need for you to think before you act, and to even think about how you're thinking before you act. I know that's confusing, but we'll get into it. So to start with your oracles, we have the crown chakra with I am presence. We have the afterlife, where are we going now? Transition, transformation, rebirth. We also have healing with spirit quartz, and it's a number 33 if anybody wanted to know. We have 3 with 30, and so we have 333 here if anyone, that's a significant synchronicity. We also have Saint Bridget with passion, fire, and growth. Shout out to my fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. We also have Father Christmas. How did I get here? Lost perhaps? No worries at all. Gather yourself and clear the frost, for the good still lives in you, dear. We also have right action. We have a spider. Actually, I think put the spider over here and right action here. We have inspiration. And finally, we have choice. Okay, interesting. So, pile 3. The month of December is going to be nothing you're not used to. And I felt some eye rolls when I said that, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Things can't change unless you do. And I think that you have been making the necessary changes in a more broad perspective. And I think that that process is just continuing in the month of December. With the spider card here, though, the really exciting thing is that it's all starting to come together. Like, you also may be untangling someone's web of lies and cutting someone off. There's a lot of that energy. It must just be because we've had Scorpio season, and you know, a lot of changes happen there, but you're kind of being brought back to the present, what you can control and what you can't, and taking action towards what you can control and surrendering to what you can't. With the choice card here, I definitely think that the King of Swords being your bottom of the deck energy makes a lot of sense, because your mentality is really going to be everything this month. It is going to determine how productive you're able to be. It's going to determine how much time and energy you give to things that are worth it or not worth it. It's going to dictate how well you are able to keep yourself organized, keep yourself on track. But here's the beautiful thing. It seems like you're much more on the side of erring with caution, thinking before doing. And it seems like you've kind of been coming out on the other side of maybe some difficult habits when it comes to your mindset, or like just difficult aspects of like your routine, or it's like a lot of shit that you've been healing is coming to a close. And it might feel like you're like, well, now what? But Spirit's saying, like, one, healing is something that never ends. So even though you're not healing, you're entering a state of maintenance this month, where hopefully, if you weren't planning on it, this is your encouragement and your strong encouragement to ground and protect your energy every single day, to have some sort of meditation to clear your mind, to help you be present. Because I think what you're going to realize, oh shit, oh my god, I can't believe I just thought of this. So the fact that we have the afterlife here, and we have like the manipulation, deception, and what else was it? I don't know. But anyway, especially these two connected, it's like you're going to be fully moving on from something or someone that was an illusion. They were portraying themselves, or it was portraying itself to be something that it wasn't, to be more than it was, to be whoever this was or whatever it was acting bigger than its britches, and it was not good for you. I do think for a lot of you, this could have been a friend, or a romantic interest or something like that. But I do think, and this has kind of been a theme running throughout the piles, but I think for you, it's more so about the fact that you may also be aware of how your mind manipulates you as well. I think that you may be getting over, you're facing mind over matter this month. You're learning what is worth giving your mental energy and what is not. You're learning that you don't have to act very impulsively like maybe you once did. It seems like you're getting out of survival mode. Or maybe you've been out of survival mode for a while, but your brain hasn't caught up with that. And so it's like maybe in this month you're taking extra care to like remind yourself that you're safe, remind yourself that you're okay, to help your brain slow down. You may just be writing your thoughts out a lot, and maybe that's why that letter is here. You could be writing letters to people, whether you send them or not, about, you know, maybe just how they affected you, or how what the experience has taught you. You're definitely going to be looking at things from a very macro perspective, where you're like understanding why certain things had to happen. And you're also seeing where your energy was wasted in the past. Like you're going to be realizing, oh, I really wasted time on this whole thing here. Like for example, maybe let's say, I'm gonna make up a really ridiculous example, but I think it's going to serve my point. So like, let's say you've got this big paper due, and this paper is super important for your grade or for your job. But some motherfucker comments on your Instagram and says some shady shit, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe that. Like, I am going to roast this person alive. And so then you spend like 2 hours going back and forth with this person, and you don't really gain anything, and this person just stays ignorant. And then you realize, why didn't I just block them and move on? Like, even if it hurt, yeah, I can deal with it later, but why did I give them so much of my energy? You know what I mean? I think in this upcoming month, you're truly starting to realize, like, you're looking at things from this more healed perspective, and realizing, one, you're gonna pick up on like manipulation and deception a lot easier than you did before. And honestly, maybe you could have picked up on it already, you could have already been good at picking up on it, but I think because you could have a lot of fire in your chart. You could have a fire Mars. You know, with St. Bridget, we have a lot of fire here. But this month is about kind of like playing the long game. And I think one thing that you're going to realize is that you may have shamed yourself in the past, like for not seeing red flags in the past. But you may be realizing that it's not that you didn't see the red flags in the past. It's that you didn't give yourself enough time to observe the red flags before you took action. It's like you almost took action and committed yourself to things before you took a step back and discerned whether they were right for you or not. And so I think this big lesson that you're learning is, instead of judging things based on what they could be or what you hope they'll be, judging things based on what they are. And for this pile especially, I think there's a big message of allowing people's actions to speak louder than their words, and to also see where maybe you could be easier on yourself for what you deem as mistakes in your past. Because mistakes are just opportunities to learn. And what I really love is we have the solar plexus chakra. It looks like it'd be the root chakra, but it's actually the solar plexus chakra with right action. And I think that Spirit is saying that in this month, you're going to be given opportunities to respond to things differently. When there's a frustrating setback, how you respond can change. Or if you get a letter from somebody that maybe you don't want to hear from, Spirit's saying that you'll be in a place where you know the way to respond, and maybe the way to respond is to not respond, or maybe the way to respond is to respond. But I do think that you'll be receiving answers and guidance, whether it's from yourself or your guides, in meditative states, in this present state. But if you really struggle with meditation or things like that, I would really suggest that you whenever you have something that you need an answer to, but you don't know what the right move to make is, you don't know what the right action to take is, do something that is like busy work, like folding laundry or doing the dishes, things that don't really require you to think too hard. Because I find even like when I'm like cleaning and shit, I'll get the most random but useful and necessary information that I've needed, and it's typically, it comes through at that point because my mind is clear enough for me to actually receive information. You have to remember that when you're constantly thinking and constantly worrying, the universe doesn't have room to like give you any information because your brain's already occupied. So I think that this month is going to be a lot about focusing on what you can control and not investing energy in what you can't. But I think what's really beautiful is that I think you're going to be realizing this month that you don't have to always respond the same way you did. You're allowed to make different decisions. You're allowed to make different choices. And I think you're going to be challenged to keep persevering through these challenges and these experiences that you've been learning. Like, for example, maybe you have not been communicating with someone because you think they're manipulative and you think that they don't have your best interests. And your heart maybe wants to say, oh, maybe I should just respond to them. But deep down, you know, nope, they haven't changed. I know that. I'm just going to keep going, keep moving forward, full steam ahead. I'm just going to keep on keeping on. And then maybe like a day later, you have this realization, or this person does something really shitty, like because maybe you don't respond, and then you're like, oh wow, I'm glad I made that decision and didn't like give them the benefit of the doubt or something like that. I almost feel like if there's someone or something you've given the benefit of the doubt more than once and it didn't work out in your favor, don't start now. Also, the song Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa is coming through. But I do think Santa Claus could be visiting your home this December because we have Father Christmas. But on a real note, I think that Spirit is really saying here, you know, gather yourself and clear the frost, for the good still lives in you. I think that Spirit is really asking you to not feel like whatever these experiences were, or these like manipulative people, manipulative things, to not see them as like roadblocks that set you back, but instead just part of the divine plan. These lessons were weaved into your growth and evolution. And I think that Spirit is saying is that you may actually be able to take a lot of inspiration from these experiences and either work them into your creations, or the lessons that you're learning from these experiences, or that you have been learning from these experiences, are going to be things that you hold on to forever, and lessons that you hold on to forever that you don't repeat because you've learned the lesson. And so I think with the King of Swords being here, Spirit's saying the only thing separating you from learning the lesson and moving forward and repeating the lesson and getting stuck in it again is making impulsive decisions and not thinking before you act. I hate to say this, but this is a pile where you want to think before doing. at least this month. You can reassess next month. But I do think that Spirit's going to be guiding you to take the right choices and take the right actions to keep you weaving your plan and keep you going. I do think that you're also going to be especially motivated to just keep moving forward. You could be traveling for the holidays or for family. I do think that you will also like just find a lot of inspiration in your everyday life. And I think that's actually because you're going to be putting more emphasis on being mindful. Now, what I want you to be aware of is that if you are not mindful this month, you may not reap the positive benefits of this time. Because if you're caught up in your head and caught up about bullshit, you're not going to be able to make choices as clearly. You might feel more impulsive. You might make some reckless decisions. And you might get yourself caught up in things that you don't want to be caught up in. And so I think that the best thing that you can do is be mindful about the actions that you're taking and the decisions that you're making. Especially because if somebody's trying to get you to make some sort of decision and it feels off, that is like point number one where you need to like take a step back and be like, wait, whoa, what's this person trying to get me to do? It's like, it's almost like Spirit's showing me someone holding out a contract, like pressuring someone to sign on the dotted line. And I think that Spirit's saying, especially if you're like planning on moving or something, be very, ask a lot of questions, be very like firm, and like definitely, you know, make sure you read the fine print. Ooh, because like this could be contracts and stuff too. So like, yeah, I think Spirit is saying like, you know, don't do something out of impulse because you feel like you won't get another opportunity. I think Spirit's saying like, actually it's better for you to be a little detached and kind of like from the magician's perspective, and, you know, look at all the elements at play and decide what the best decision is going to be, not just in the moment, but in the long term. Because I do think that some of these decisions are long-term decisions and that they're seeds that you've been planting for a while and that you're going to continue to reap these benefits. But I think that there may be times this month when you kind of want to like shirk your responsibilities and just do whatever you want. And I think that Spirit is saying there's a time and a place for fun, but if you had things planned, like things you wanted to get done or things you wanted to accomplish and achieve, don't put them off because you may not have the energy in the future or in the near future to get that done. So whatever that means for you guys. But there's a lot of things coming together in the background, and you're not going to see evidence of this in the 3D in December. But I do think you will see it starting in 2022. So if you haven't watched that predictions video, you should definitely check that out after this. But I think what you're also just going to realize at this point is like after you move on, like from all the healing required, well, I mean, you may move on and still be healing. So I'm not going to say that like you move on after you heal, but like when you finally move through whatever it is that you're dealing with, you're going to realize that you're exactly where you need to be and that you're literally not doing anything wrong. You didn't fuck anything up. You did not mess anything up. You're following the divine plan exactly the way you needed to. And I think for a lot of you, you may be like worried that you can't trust yourself to make good decisions. And I'm here to tell you, and Spirit's here to tell you, to say that you can trust yourself to make good decisions, but you can't make good decisions if you just act based on impulse. Use that big brain of yours to really be discerning. Be like a Virgo, even though Virgo's an earth sign and not an air sign. You know, I think Virgo energy is just very representative of like, you know, practical, what's best for you sort of things. And I think that in this month, it's like, it's not about what you want, it's about what you need. It's not about what would be fun, it's about what will be best for the goals you're trying to attain. Because I think you have goals in mind that you're shooting for in 2022, and I think that Spirit's trying to keep you on the right track there. And you may find at times that you don't have that same like fire to go after your dreams, go after what you want. And so I think if that's the case, Saint Bridget is maybe somebody that you want, like if you work with deities, you might want to look into deity work with her. Not saying you have to, but could be if you're interested in that. I do think as well, there's just a lot with your solar plexus chakra. Like when you're feeling insecure, maybe solar plexus healing is something you want to look at doing, especially when you're faced with difficult decisions or you're uncertain of like the right choice to make, or like uncertain of somebody's intentions or things like that. I think that the more you trust yourself to make the right decisions, I think the more peace you'll have. But really this month is a lot about just like, all right, what's next? And all right, I guess all this worrying was kind of for nothing, because I'm exactly where I need to be. And the truth of the matter is that like you are exactly where you need to be. And I'm not, this definitely, like this month is make or break, not entirely, but it is make or break in terms of how much you accomplish, how many things you get done, the decisions that you make, XYZ, how successful you are this month. A lot of it depends on how under control you can keep your mindset. And so Spirit is really encouraging you to remember the lessons you've already learned and trust those, even though you may want to go against them because it would feel good or something like that. You know what I mean? It's about doing what's best for you, not what feels good. Because doing, well, but see, here's the thing, it is important to do what feels good. But if you do what feels good at the expense of what is best for you, then it won't feel very good when you get to the end of the line, right? So it's like you're doing what will feel good for the future you, rather than doing what feels good for the present you, because the present you knows that you want the future you to experience or enjoy XYZ. And so you're like thinking about the future you. But the way to act in accordance with your future you is to be present and mindful enough to recognize what you can control in your present to contribute to that future you. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and get into your advice now, and we just have different advice cards for different areas of your life. So we're gonna start with advice for your work life. So to start, we have filling the well. Feeling like your brain could use a tiny jumpstart or medical transplant, it might be time to take a break, go explore some completely unrelated territory for a few days. Wells can only provide so much water before they dry up, and brains are the same way. Brains don't dry up, but the metaphor holds true. Regardless, your brain could use a kick in the brain pants, so step away from your routine and head to the nearest museum, park, concert, or chowder cook-off. Do it now, hurry, before your boss sees you climbing out the window. Okay, well, I literally just said be responsible, and this just said do whatever you want. But that's where you do what's best for you. But I did mention with that inspiration card that you could be finding inspiration in different places. You could be finding inspiration in your dreams as well. But taking a break is different from being irresponsible. So you're allowed to take breaks. You're allowed to do what you need to do. Ooh, don't let your like fucking boss or anything like manipulate you into overworking yourself or something like that. Man, especially if you work like I am praying for all of my service workers out there during the holidays. Oh my God, there is no hell like retail during the holidays, and I know it's that way for all service workers. Like, I'm praying for you. But yeah, I think there's a need, while you may want inspiration, there's a need to just do it in a productive way where you're not like shirking your responsibilities, I guess. For creative advice, we have proliferation. I put quality control on hiatus and welcome prolific quantity with untamed delight. Quality is cool at some parties, but not when it invites its friend paralyzing scrutiny. Ooh, yeah. Paralyzing scrutiny is always hanging out with me. Oh my God. So for now, I'll let my ideas proliferate like grass rather than agonize over every tiny blade. I'll let the whole darn field spring up. Once we're having a picnic, no one's gonna care what those blades are up to anyways. Yeah, so I think maybe Spirit could be just encouraging you as well, with the time that you do have to be creative, to just make shit, not make perfect shit, just make a bunch of like random shit. Like, I guess they're saying quantity over quality in this case. Okay, so for family, advice for your family life, we have comfort. I take comfort in the level of comfort that comes from being around people who have known me since I was in braces, diapers, utero. When I'm this comfortable, I can just be me. And when I'm just me, I remember what a lovely, comfy old pair of acid-washed jeans I am. Well, not everybody takes comfort in family, so I guess that is subjective. I think this is more so encouraging you to take to surround yourself with people who do give you comfort, whether that is, you know, spending time, like, you know, if, for example, if you have like a comfort character or comfort artist or a comfort friend that you have, or family, or it could be family as well, because it doesn't, not saying that everybody has difficult experiences with their family, but some people do, and they may not find comfort being around their family. But I do think that Spirit is encouraging you to be around people that do make you feel comfortable, that do make you feel like it's okay to be yourself. And I think they could be encouraging you to just spend time with them, be present with them. Because you may find too that when you're around those people, they give you advice for things or say things to you that they could have never known were significant, but like literally tell you everything that you needed to hear, or give you an answer to something that you've been pondering for forever. But advice for love and relationships, we have receiving. I open up and allow myself to receive love in all ways from all directions. It may seem scary, but it's better than receiving audits, bedbugs, or hate mail. I receive love, and it feels so good that I decide to receive it some more, and then some more, and maybe just a wee bit more. Yeah, there's definitely an energy of you needing to allow yourself to receive good things. And just trusting and believing that you do deserve them. Because I don't think you have issues with giving love. I think you have issues with receiving it. And so maybe being around people that you feel comfortable with will help you get in the practice of receiving love. So, you know, maybe that's getting compliments from them, or allowing them to cook you dinner, or things like that. You know what I mean? Like, let people do nice things for you. Let people be good to you. You could be receiving communication from a love interest. You could be receiving a gift of some kind. Well, it will be the holidays, but yeah, allow yourself to receive in whatever way that is. And finally, we have some personal development advice, and it says no need to do. I am exactly where I need to be, exactly when I need to be. There is nothing more I need to do. I mean, yes, there will always be laundry and taxes, but in terms of my life's path, I don't need to do anything because I am already here. I take a deep breath, relax, and trust, and then do the laundry. So yeah, this is exactly, like, this is essentially the same energy as the I am presence. No need to do, you just need to be. You're exactly where you're at. Like, you're exactly where you're meant to be in terms of your life's path. And so I think that's the biggest thing that you need to know, because it's like, yeah, you may not have like the most mind-blowing December of your entire life, but like, it'll be good, and you'll learn some shit, and you'll deal with some frustrating shit. There's every rose has its thorn, baby. Like, you know, there's just always some bullshit, and it's unrealistic to expect that the bullshit of life is just not going to be a thing. But, you know, it's how we respond to the bullshit of life that really matters. And I think there's a lot about just like not being so fucking hard on yourself, and just allowing yourself to do things, and not wonder if that's the right thing to do, but to just do it anyway. Just action in general, instead of like, because you may be focused on what's the right action to the point where you're like paralyzed. You know, if you've ever heard of analysis paralysis, it's definitely a thing. So I think Spirit may be encouraging you to like, which is such a contradictory message, because I'm like, think about what you're doing before you do it. But don't think about it so much that you don't do anything. Balance. We want to keep some balance. So we want to be discerning about the decisions we make, but we don't want to be so discerning that we don't make decisions at all. It's about giving yourself enough time to weigh the pros and cons, analyze things, decide what's going to be best for you, and then take action. But pile 3, I think that is where I am going to leave your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me, but if you would like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already and click that little bell notification. You can, what else can you do? Oh, you can follow my social media. It's linked down, all my different social medias. They are linked down below. Anything that's not linked below is not mine. Do be aware there are a lot of scammers pretending to be me right now. And as a result, I am dealing with a lot of people getting DMs from people that they think are me that are not. So just be aware, I'm not doing personal readings right now. If I do, I will update you guys, but I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't see that in the near future. I'm very busy. I would love to, but I don't have the time. But if you receive communication from someone claiming to be me, offering you a personal reading, it is not me, it is a scammer. If you want to check out my merch, that is linked below as well. Do I have anything else? No, thank you guys. Oh, happy birthday to my Sagittarians and December Capricorns. I hope you all have a really lovely and happy birthday. I hope everyone has a wonderful December. Thank you guys so much for watching and for letting me read your cards. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you are watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 4. If you guys chose the pink bell and this Lenormand card, this is going to be your reading. So your Lenormand card is the Stars card, which is really awesome because this is telling me that your December will be full of faith, hope, and optimism. Maybe not all at the same time, maybe not for the entire month, but it will be something that you will be divinely redirected to anytime you start doubting yourself, especially this month. And I think as well, there may be people in your life that will help show you that there's more hope, or at the very least, help comfort you and remind you of what's truly important. Like, you may find yourself getting like sidetracked by things that don't matter, and I think that there could be people in your life, whether virtual or in person, that help redirect you to like your truth and remind you like why you're here, what you're doing all this for. I just want to do one good damn bridge, so I'm like not gonna talk for 10 seconds and then we're gonna go. Okay, but that card wants to come out, so let's see, what is it? It's the 10 of Cups upright. Fuck yes. Okay. Starting off strong, baby. We've got the 10 of Cups, family, bliss, harmony. Is there another one? Well-being. Okay, we love that. Definitely spending time with family. So what else, Spirit? What else can pile 4 expect in this upcoming month? So to start, we have the Ace of Wands with inspiration, opportunity, potential. And we have the 3 of Swords with heartbreak, suffering, and sorrow. Okay, well, those are 2 very different energies. Can I get a 4th, please? And the final one is the 4 of Swords in reverse. Wow, okay. Unrest, confinement, burnout. Well, these are 2 very opposing energies, aren't they? What's on the back of the deck? And it's the 7 of Swords upright. Awesome. Okay, so we got some deception and some betrayal and some cunning. Okay, well, let's see what's coming, what else is coming through. Let's look at that first. So to start, we have Mother Earth. We have Soul's Window. Listen to what speaks to your soul. Purpose, passion, truth. We also have introspection. This is with the stone fluorite and the number 15, which is the number of the Devil card in tarot. We also have Archangel Raphael. Oh my gosh, he's here. Like, don't worry about your heart. Like, I'm here to heal it. Oh my gosh, Archangel Raphael is so sweet. But we have healing, intuition, and health with him. We also have Mother Mary. Into the arms of a mothering embrace swells a wisdom full of grace. In thy bosom where she whispers sleeps the eye of winter. So we have a lot about mother energy here. So the one thing that I want to say right away, if your mother or like grandmother or a motherly figure that's really special to you that may no longer be here, I think one thing that Spirit is saying is you will see a lot of signs that they are around you this month, and if you ask them for signs, they will give you them as well. But if your motherly figure or grandmotherly figure is alive and well, I think that you are going to be spending more time with them. You could be just like, I heard something like nothing's healing like grandma's cooking. So I definitely can see like you're going to be connecting to your family. I'm not even done laying the cards out yet. Jesus. Chill, Spirit. Let me get into it. Okay, yeah. So we have anxiety and we have destabilization. We have the elephant. Okay. And we have play. All right. This makes some sense. This is making some sense. Shoo. The good news is that I never have spreads. So I let Spirit just come through and tell me whatever it is that I need to know so that I can speak it and say it to y'all. And from what I can see here, for a lot of you, this betrayal, heartbreak, unrest energy is something that already happened. But that I can't confirm that that's going to be for all of you. For some of you, it could be. I don't like to say things like this because I don't want to create like unnecessary stress. But remember that this is a general reading. And so take only what resonates and trust your gut more than what a general reading is saying. I'm just a pair of talking hands on the internet. You know your life more than I do. But there could be some painful endings with friends. It could be a romantic interest, a romantic connection of some kind. It's definitely something that okay, yeah. For some of you, it's definitely like something from the past, like something that's happened in the recent past that you're still healing from. Or if something about your connection to somebody isn't sitting right or something like that, you may have that confirmed intuitively. But this betrayal, heartbreak energy could be from anything. Like, it could be finding out that you're not getting into the housing that you wanted, or it's almost like you had I got it. So there's something that you've had a lot of ego investment in. And you may not have seen it as ego investment, but Spirit is confirming to me that that's what it was. So examples of this could be wanting a specific job or position because of the money that you'll make from it. Not because it's fulfilling or rewarding, but because you know you'll make a lot of money. And maybe you're going through that right now. Like maybe you're studying and you're like, I can't like do this anymore. Like it's weighing on me. Or for example, maybe you were pursuing someone, and you maybe felt like there was something deeper there. Like if they rejected you or betrayed you or something, You may have felt like there was something deeper there, but you may be coming to realize this month that maybe there wasn't. Maybe your ego was just wanting the validation of this person realizing they were wrong. You know what I mean? Like, and the way to know that is if you have much deeper feelings for this person other than wanting them to like come to you and tell you that they're wrong or that they're sorry. But I also think this egotism extends to maybe egotism from like other people that maybe you weren't aware of before, that is like coming to light now, or like maybe you were aware of it but you just tried to pretend like it didn't exist. I think that is something that is going to be healed in this month, and if not fully healed, at the very least you're going to have a lot of comfort and protection to heal. And what's beautiful is we have this elephant card here. And this just goes to show how far beyond you are all of this shit. And it doesn't mean that you won't still experience it, you won't still feel it, but you'll move through any obstacles that you're dealing with ease. And in fact, I think that if you are dealing with some sort of like heartbreak or things like that in terms of a person, I do think that you are going to have interests at the very least coming through to replace that shit real quick. They may not be something long term, but at the very least it's the potential for something, the start of something. Maybe honestly, maybe this is something that you've been healing from for a long time, and it's like you're finally getting to a place where you're ready to get out of bed again, ready to be motivated. This could also be leading you to discovering what your life's purpose is. But I do want to talk about this anxiety and this destabilization card, because I think these are the two energies that are a result of this energy. The Three of Swords upright, the Four of Swords in reverse, and the Seven of Swords. I think that for a lot of you, this does feel like past energy, because the interesting thing about the Three of Swords being like a heartbreak card is we don't realize how our brains can re-heartbreak us and re-traumatize us because it maybe refuses to let go of something or keeps revisiting something that no longer serves you, right? So maybe I'll give a dumb example. So like maybe your brain at night is like, hey, remember that embarrassing thing you did in the 3rd grade? Like, so that's not heartbreaking, that's just cringeworthy, right? So think of that same concept, but instead it's like, remember when so-and-so did this, or we found out that XYZ was, you know, doing this to you, or whatever it may be. It's like you may be so afraid of like shit that's happened to you in the past, it stops you from feeling safe enough to take action in the future. And what I'm seeing is that you are safe enough to take action in the future. But you may need to introspect on what it is that you're truly striving for and what your next steps are. So with this Soul's Window here, oh my God, and this is so interesting too, because with the destabilization card, you know, we have the ghost with no eyes. And so I think Spirit's saying the things that truly speak to your soul and truly are meant for you on a soul level, they're not going to be things that lead you to destabilization that takes you off your path. I was going to say that these are not going to be things that will destabilize you, but truth be told, I think that anything in this world can destabilize us. I think this card really is referencing destabilization to the point where you're straight off your path, straight off what you're meant to be doing. And I think you're afraid of making any decisions or taking any action that will take you away from your path. But if you're acting with passion, if you're following your truth, you can't be destabilized by that. You can be redirected. Things can destabilize in a way, but you're not going to feel destabilized because you know you're headed in the right direction. I do think, though, that there's a need to find comfort within the craziness of life, within the uncertainty of life. And that's where this energy is coming in. So we'll get there in a second. But one thing that you need to know is that there is going to be a need this upcoming month to kind of keep your brain in check. because your brain might be giving you signals or saying things to you. Hey, we're not safe right now. We're not safe. We should be anxious. We should be freaking out. And you're going to be like, why? We're in the middle of Target, like our heaven. And your brain's going to be like, I just think that we need to be worried about things right now. And you might be like, bro, I just want to look at books right now. Like, can you come back later? Well, not that you wanted to come back later, but those are times where you might have to remind yourself, like, I am safe. I am supported. I am okay. And I think too, the things that have been destabilized in your past or that are headed towards destabilization are not things that speak to your soul. And I do feel like for a lot of you, this is like really past energy that you may be clinging on to out of fear that if you lower your guard or you stop thinking about it, that's the exact second it's going to come back and fuck you up. And I think that is something that you are telling yourself. It's not something that's actually true. And I think one thing that you need to know is that you are far more equipped to deal with hardship and difficulties than you were in the past. And I think Spirit is asking you to be cognizant of when your brain is causing you to feel more pain and hurt than is necessary. Like if your brain is bringing up things, nasty things that somebody said to you once, it's like, why are you telling me this? Like, that doesn't serve me. I know what they were saying wasn't true. Yes, it's painful, but I don't need to, like, you can literally just tell your brain, thank you for sharing, and keep moving on. I find that's honestly the best route, because our brain is just very, like, compulsive, right? Like, it just says random shit sometimes where you're like, why the fuck did you say that? Like, I can't believe that you are my own brain, because you just say things that are so, what the hell? But anyway, I think that there's going to be a need to just lovingly allow what's coming through your head, because this is all mental. And that's why I think there's not really anything happening in the physical. I really think for a lot of you, this is past energy. You know, I do, just because it is predictions, like, I do feel like I have to give people a heads up, but I think for the majority of you, this is in the past, because we have this elephant card and this represents you. And this is the most evolved fire energy within the deck. And I think that this is a sign, first of all, Ganesha, I can't remember the Hindu deity Ganesha. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I just heard it in a download. I just heard it, so I don't have the, I don't know if that's correct or not, but that could be a significant deity for some of you. But there is a lot about healing through family, healing through your loved ones, healing through creative opportunities, healing through fun. I think especially for those of you who are traveling home for the holidays, if like you're far away, I think this is going to be an especially healing time. And I think Spirit is really encouraging you to reconnect with the earth, because even if you don't have a mother figure in your life that's supportive of you, or even if you don't have a nurturing source to give you that motherly energy, you can get it from the earth. This is the mega root chakra, so it's like one underneath the root chakra. It's truthfully called like the star soul chakra or something, but I say mega root. And it's crazy because we also have Mother Mary. So you've got a lot of like divine feminine energy coming through that wants to support and love you through this. So even if you can't get this divine feminine energy through a physical source, you can still get it through prayer, through meditation, through connecting, through grounding. Grounding especially. Grounding is so good for when your mind is racing. It helps you come back to like remember what's real. Sometimes our mind can just go so way out of left field and have us freaking out and worrying about things that are not even realistic, and we don't even realize it because we've just run away with it. It's literally like being in handcuffs. It's almost like you can't even take action because you're too anxious about what you should take action about. And I think that Spirit is saying when you get into this destabilized energy, when you get into this energy where you don't feel safe, that is when you need to ground. I would look up just like a grounding meditation if that's what you need. But grounding can happen through tons of different ways. That can just be through like going outside in nature and sitting on the ground. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it might be cold as shit, so maybe put some shoes on first. But whatever it may be, I think Spirit's really encouraging you to connect with nature, to touch some grass, you know, when things feel overwhelming or when things feel out of control, and to also feel safe enough to go to your loved ones that you trust when you feel, when you get in these moments too. Because from what I'm seeing here, the worst part of December is just going to be dealing with the mental effects of shitty things that have happened with your past. And the beautiful thing is that you're going to have loving energies around you to support you, and also the inspiration to move on and keep going. You know, with this sacral energy here, this is the sacral chakra. Spirit is really encouraging you to do things that you did as a child that you really enjoyed, whether it's like creative things or playing an old video game that gives you nostalgia. Anything that just makes you feel lighter and more fun, and that doesn't have like a productive purpose behind it. It's just to enjoy it. But the universe is saying we're here to help nurture you. So if you don't have a physical source that can be that nurturing motherly energy, the earth will be that for you. And I really would encourage you to get outside more, to connect with nature more, because the earth really is alive, and like there is so much loving energy that the earth just wants to give you all the time, that you just need to be open and receiving to. And so I just need to link, I'll link a grounding meditation. I'm probably gonna forget to do that. That's why I was hesitant to say I'll link it, because I always forget. But if I forget to link it, there is a grounding meditation by Happy Twins 1111, and it says it's a grounding meditation for twin flames, but you don't have to be a twin to use it. It's perfect for everybody. But it's literally it literally goes through the process of grounding and protecting your energy, and also helping you stay mindful. That is one thing that will really help you combat these anxious thoughts, feelings. But I mean, you may not be able to handle it just on your own. So if you need help, Spirit is saying, you know, we are providing sources for help. But you may need to seek more resources. The universe can provide energetic help, or signs, or give you nudges in the right direction, but you still at the end of the day have to take action. But I think that you're in an important process of regeneration, and Archangel Raphael has got to come through to let you know that he is here all the time, not just in the month of December, but he is here to help heal your heart. So when you find your heart hurting a little bit extra, when you find yourself ruminating over shit that happened in the past that's making you feel like you're not worth it, that you're not amazing, oh, I want to cry. I wish I could give you guys a hug. I'm so sorry you're dealing with this. I really do think December is gonna get better. I'm so sorry, you guys. I know it's hard to deal with this stuff. I know. And it's just exhausting. And you're just like, when the fuck is this shit gonna end? And it's like, even if you're fine, even if nothing is happening, your brain is telling you that like you feel like you're gonna die, or like everything is gonna go to shit, or you're gonna lose everything. You just have to remember that your brain is not the truth. Your brain is not the truth. Your brain is a tool that you can use to discern truth, but it is not the only tool. You have your intuition, you have your external surroundings, you have your heart, you have your soul, you have your guides, and you have angels. I mean, angels are the fucking shit. Angels are the fucking best. Like, there's nothing better than angels. And Archangel healing, man, it's instant, it is helpful. And yeah, I'm just going to ask Archangel Raphael right now to just send some love and some healing to everybody who is watching this pile right now. And, you know, just send some signs and reminders that you're around. It looks like the caduceus could be one of them, as well as a fish and an anchor. The number 222, or this dark green color. But it's going to be okay, pile 4. I promise you. The biggest thing that you have to fight is the thing inside your head telling you it's not okay. And working with that voice inside your head telling you it's not okay, and figuring out how to deal with that and still go about your life and enjoy things that you deserve to enjoy without being so caught up in stuff that doesn't even matter. But I do think that your family is going to be a really great resource, and if it's not your biological family, I think it's a family that you've created, whether it be made up of friends, animals, crystals, whatever it may be. But with the Ace of Wands as well, I think that is going to be what you need to help you remember who the fuck you are and how fucking awesome you are and how you are just going to be just fine. It's your brain telling you that it's not. But do not forget that there is hope and that there is good things coming and that there is optimism. And I think that this is just so on point. I'm so glad that you got this card. Like, I think that of all the piles, like, you need this card more than any, because it's not even about what you're experiencing or what you've went through. It's about the experience of having to re-experience it when you're just trying to have good experiences. It's like, I can't. Wow, man, I'm really living your guys' life right now. Like, fuck. Okay. Okay. I need to ground myself a little bit. See, even I need to ground myself. Y'all are getting me ungrounded. So I'm just gonna talk through my grounding so that you guys can, like, understand it. So essentially all I'm doing right now, even though you can't see me, is I'm closing my eyes and I have my feet firmly on the ground even though I'm sitting down, and what I'm doing is I'm picturing roots growing out of my feet, like going beneath the foundation of my home, beneath all of the Earth's crust, all the way down to the Earth's core. And in the Earth's core, that is where Mother Earth's beautiful, grounding, loving light is. I picture it as red, but you can picture it as anything you want. And essentially what I do is I picture this light coming up through my roots, into my feet, into my body. Now, the visualization is more so to kind of help you. For some of you, you may need like an induction before you're able to like feel those effects. Like, you may be too in your head to kind of feel that energy. It's a process of like, it doesn't have, because some of you don't visualize either. So it's a process of like even speaking it. But okay, so that's a side note. But all right, now we've got our grounding energy from Mother Earth, right? So I picture myself just with tons of this like beautiful, red, loving, unconditionally loving energy from Mother Earth that keeps me grounded and secure, reminds me that unfortunately I am still human and still living a human experience. But then we look up, and then what we've got above us is divine white light. Well, I picture it as like this like sparkly, like white, like angelic light, but you can picture it however you want. And I picture that coming through my crown, like starting with my crown chakra, the top of my head, going down. So it's kind of got like an effect like that. I hope that makes sense. So if it was on its side, it's like this way. So you've got the red light coming up. You've got the spiritual love of like your guides and like the unconditional love from the universe, right, coming down this way. And then I picture that kind of clearing my energy the same way the earth energy did, and then it forms this pink bubble around me because pink is the best color and it's the most iconic. And so then I picture that pink energy surrounding me and surrounding my aura a decent bit away from my body, so it's like around me. And then I picture, and I tell myself things like I am love, like I am safe, I am nurtured, like I am okay, things like that. You'll see it in the meditation if I remember to link it. And then you seal it. You seal this bubble of good, loving protection with something solid, like gold, like silver. I prefer a crystalline barrier, but I add gold and silver because it's also bougie and fun. So I do all three, but you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's the beautiful thing about meditation. For me, it's like video games in my head, but grounding is like this grounding meditation, which this is not a meditation because I've explained it in the most chaotic way possible. But when you meditate a lot, you can kind of accomplish a lot in a short amount of time. But when you don't meditate very often, you kind of need like an induction and things like that. But I mean, even just doing that and explaining that process to you, I feel a million times better than I did like before I did that. And it's because I could literally feel myself getting ungrounded. And so when you feel yourself feeling the way that I just did when I was like, oh my gosh, like pile 4, I'm so sorry, like you don't deserve this. Like that is exactly when you want to be like, okay, I need to ground. Like if I don't have anyone to like give me a hug, like if, you know, my mom or my grandma or my auntie or like whoever is important, whoever can give me that like, and I mean, you can get divine feminine comfort not from a woman, by the way. Like, I mean, you can get it from anyone. But we just have a lot of motherly energy here. But anyway, that will make so much of a difference. And the more you do it, the easier it'll become. You will probably need, like, if you're not very if you haven't like practiced meditation and things like that, it may take you longer to get into it, to get inducted. The induction process is just doing the shit like my eyes are relaxed, my cheeks are relaxed, like it's the stuff that like it's that stuff to like calm your mind down. And I'm channeling, so I can't really do that right now because it's gonna pull me off track. But the beautiful thing is that we're ready for advice, and that whole thing was just a giant tangent anyway. But yeah, that's how you ground and protect your energy. You can do that shit on the toilet. Like 2 minutes is all it takes. Like you just, you know, when you go to the bathroom, don't take your phone. And instead of scrolling through Instagram or Twitter, you ground and protect your energy. Like you can say you don't have time, but I know you've got time to go to the bathroom, so no excuses. Anyway, let's get into your advice. So we have advice for different areas of your life, and we're going to start with your work, school, study, whatever it is that you're doing there. And we have imagination. I treasure my imagination, and I can conjure it up and use it at any time. My imagination helps me dream up creative solutions to complex problems that I wouldn't have thought of from inside this same old box. Like how to maybe get out of this box. Anyone help? I do want to say, though, I think this imagination card also extends to the fact that your imagination can be powerful in negative ways as well. Like, you could get carried away in fears or worries or beliefs that, like you could get carried away in some giant fear that would never happen just because your imagination is being really creative. So I would say use your imagination for good, not for fear. As best as you can, of course. And the thing is like, if you can't regulate your mindset on your own, that's not something to be ashamed about. That's something where you need to be like, oh, okay, I just need some help with this, and that's okay. But let's look. So we got advice for creativity now. Nothing is wasted. No experience is ever wasted, even if what I'm working on turns out to be a total dumpster fire. When I spend time on a project, it's always, well, at least 98.7% of the time, good practice. Plus, it makes me better at making whatever that thing is. And if what I was trying to make was a dumpster fire, then I'm already 5 steps ahead of the game. Yeah, that is so true as well. Like, there are tons of readings that I filmed that I never ended up uploading, either because, like, spirit came, well, not tons of them, there's just a few. Like there was a life partner reading that I filmed. Like I filmed 4 piles. One pile was 2 hours. It was like insane. We always go off the rails in pile 4, but who cares. Yeah, it was like insane. And like there was just some intense shit that like spirit channeled through me, and I was like, this is not for the consumption of the internet. Like I know it would be valuable to the people that need it, but there's going to be a lot of people that don't need it, that come across it anyway, and I think that could be more destructive than helpful. So sometimes, but I learned so fucking much, and like I got so much information, you know what I mean? And at the time I was really frustrated. I was like, wow, I spent like 8 hours filming like it was going to be 5 piles, but the video itself was like 6 hours because one pile was 2 hours. I didn't even realize it was 2 hours, because that's the thing about channeling. Like, I don't intend to make videos that are like 5 hours long. It's just, it happens that way, and it feels like it's like 2 hours. But anyway, I learned so much from that. And at the time I was like, oh God, like I can't believe I wasted all this time doing that reading and then like nothing came of it. But like I got a lot out of it, and that's what matters. And I'm redoing the reading, and guess what? It's gonna be better than it was before. And I'm gonna, it's coming. Well, I don't know if it's going to be, I haven't decided what it's going to be yet, but something like that is coming. But I will also do like a life partner reading. I just, the intention was to make it a life partner reading, and then all of these soul connections kept coming through. And I'm like, my whole fucking point of filming this video is that like you don't have to have a soul connection with someone to be there for them to be your life partner. And then I was like, I'm putting in all this energy and it's like not even what my goal of filming the video. Okay, now I'm getting off track. See, I'm not being mindful of my mind and I'm going off on tangents. It's always pile 4, but okay, let's keep going. So let's see what advice you need in terms of your family. Internal validation. Wouldn't it be incredible if you didn't have to depend on your loved ones for validation of what a beautiful, successful, downright magical person you are? Great news, you don't. Here's your it's okay if you need it more than once daily reminder that all the praise you crave is sitting inside you right now. If you didn't already feel it, you wouldn't know it was lacking from other sources, right? So let people live in their bubbles and come around on their own time. In the meantime, you have a lot of magic to continue making. Better hop to it. So maybe for some of you, this is related to the fact that maybe some people in your family like are hurting your feelings or are betraying you in some way. And I think that Spirit is saying, you know, those opinions, their validation, you don't need it. We also have, this is love and relationship advice, by the way. My best self. I trust that when I'm doing what's best for me and being the happiest version of myself, all the right sorts of relationships will appear in my life. That means I can let go of all my worries about the future, knowing that my only job is to be happy in this moment, while simultaneously attaining a cosmic level of enlightened awareness and total psychological self-actualization. And look at how similar it is to this stars card. And I think that's really what you're doing, is you're becoming your best self and learning how to overcome these difficult things. Because let's be honest, nobody leaves this earth unscathed. Nobody leaves this earth without suffering. And the belief of like looking over at somebody else and thinking that they have it easier than you, they're fighting battles that you don't even know. And you know, it can be easy to wish that our lives were different or that we were different, but I think one of the most freeing things I've ever done is be grateful for the challenges that I have and be grateful for what's thrown my way and just be accepting and okay with that, because everybody has struggles and challenges, and like even though we don't see them, it doesn't mean they don't exist. You know what I mean? I'm a struggle bus like 23 hours of the day. 1 hour I'm usually like really on fucking point, or when I'm doing this, but other than that, it's it's an experience. But anyway, okay. So let's talk about your final card. We have confidence. In this moment, I take a step back and look at myself with the pride of a good mother. Oh, fuck yes. We have so much mother energy. I see an abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big and little ways. If I could stick myself on a refrigerator, I would. I would invite all the neighbors over and say, look at that. Can you believe what an A+ that is? And see, even if they were like, nah, it looks like a B+ to me, you'd be like, I don't need their validation because I've got my own validation and I know that I'm an A+ and I'm confident enough to know that. And so I definitely think this is all going to be about, you know, recognizing all the faith that the universe has within you, recognizing the faith that the ones that love you have within you, and knowing that you're going to be just fine and you're going to be okay. And just because your brain is telling you that does not mean that it's true. Your brain is a liar sometimes, and it may not be intentional. It may stem from some sort of trauma or pain, but that does not mean that that your mind is controlling you. You can still be mindful. You can challenge what your mind tells you. I challenge my mind all the time. Like when she says some stupid shit, I'm like, really? You really think that? And she fucking backs down because she knows she's wrong. She's just talking shit. And like she just shut up. So, you know, tell your brain to shut up sometimes. It may not work, but at least you're doing something. You're fighting back. But wow, okay. This one went off the rails. Pile 4. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you stuck through all that. I don't know why I was so like scattered, but I hope that it made sense anyway. if you enjoyed this video and would like to support me, you could watch my ads, so thank you to everybody who did that. But you could also like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you're not subscribed already. You can check out my merch, or you can check out my social media, which is all linked down below. But do be aware, there's tons of bitch ass scammers pretending to be me, trying to sell y'all personal readings. That is not me. So if the social media account is not linked below on my YouTube channel in some way, it is not mine. But my Instagram account, where most of the scammers are, my only Instagram is at @realesotaro, REALESOTAROT. Be aware of the fact that scammers, you know, try to replicate a similar name, but they re-upload my posts, which have watermarks on them, and so you can literally just directly compare. But yeah, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. But I think that's all I have. So thank you guys so much for letting me read your cards. Oh, happy birthday to all of my Sagittarian kings and queens and my December Capricorn kings and queens. I hope you all have very, very, very happy birthdays, and I hope everyone has a happy holiday. I am wishing you all a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you are watching this video, and I hope you all will come back and see me again soon. Bye!